Hi there, and welcome to our video on the spelling strategies. As you may be aware already, we have four main strategies that we focus on within Spellings for Me. As you can see the image in front of you, this image is actually available in the printable section of your profile. You might decide to print it as a classroom display. We have a lot of other classroom displays on the spelling strategies also. But more importantly, we have a page in the workbook for every student in every workbook that explains which strategy they should use with their word. Okay, so if you look at the image on the left, we focus on four main strategies. Those are word within a word, letter drawings, mnemonics, and letter strings. And we are going to go through each of those four strategies over the coming slides. So beginning with word in a word. It is heavily linked with etymology. Okay, as you can see, it's quite simple. You find a mini word inside that word, the word like what with a word like hat inside it. Ped means foot inside the word pedal, which would be linked to etymology. So to explain etymology first. Etymology is the study of word origins, like to the number 2. Why is there a W in the number 2? And we give in the workbooks real life examples of this. So TW comes from Old English and means two. So we have an example of a twin, two people who are born at the same time. Between, the space that separates two people or objects. 20, two sets of 10, or twice. How it looks in the workbook is this. Okay, so it's a little mini activity that the students will complete based upon the number 2, and it'll make them aware of why the number or why the 2 is spelled with a W. This would be typically built in workbook C to workbook F. Please be aware, it's important to note that each one of our strategies have video lessons associated with them. Okay, if you are in September now and you're looking at this video, the first few units of the workbook correspond to the video lessons. However, if you're at a later stage of the year and you're looking at this video, please be aware that the video lessons are there, and it is so important to play these lessons for the students in your class so that they understand how to use the strategies properly and effectively using in their own work. Okay, I would urge you, no matter what stage of the year it is, if you're past September, to go to the printable section of your profile, print out a few worksheets that are available in the printable section, and play these video lessons alongside completing the worksheets. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is morphology. So it's heavily linked also to etymology. So what is morphology? It's a study of word structures, bases, suffixes, prefixes, and it's introduced in our workbooks from workbook B up to workbook F. Okay, this is what it kind of looks like in the workbook. And there's a progression right as we go through from 2nd class up to 6th class, let's say. We take a word like watch and we ask them to put this together and how many words they can form using the word watch, like stopwatch, unwatchable, rewatch, okay, watchdog, watching. It's highlighted in the table of contents of each workbook, C, D, E, and F, what morphology or etymology theme they're going to be studying that week. Okay, so as you can see in Unit 5 of this week in Workbook D, they'll be studying dent words. Dent means tooth. Okay. These are what the activities look like in the student's workbook. Just another example of what it looks like. This one would be in the 6th class workbook. Sub means below. Your first thing to ask your students is, can you figure out how one of these words means below? They'll probably lean on submarine, being below water, and then you have a great start. You can discuss the other words that are on this list. So the next strategy we're going to talk about is letter drawings. It's quite simple. They associate an image with their spelling that they are learning. Okay, so this can be an image that they draw. However, in a lot of cases, we see that students pull this out of magazine clippings, newspaper clippings. If you ever want inspiration on this, please look at our social media platforms, because we get images sent in by teachers and we display them on our social media platforms. All right. There is a video lesson accompanying letter drawings. Mnemonics, quite a simple one to explain to your students. It is important to note that we don't want them to overuse mnemonics. We find that mnemonics should be saved to less than one per week. The reason being is if I have 12 words to learn per week, and I do 12 mnemonics to learn those 12 words, I won't remember the mnemonics. Realistically, a mnemonic should be saved for a word that I'm really struggling with. I come to you as my teacher, we come together as a class possibly and come up with a mnemonic for that word, and I manage to learn it then. All right. There's a video lesson to explain what mnemonics are and to teach the children how to use them. Letter strings is probably the most underused strategy out of the top 4. Okay, but it can be so beneficial if the students in your class start using it, and it can be made fun if you as a teacher inspire that. This strategy completely comes down to the teacher and little mini lessons within your class based upon letter strings. I'm going to speak about them a little bit more later. However, there is once again a video lesson associated to letter strings for your students. Look Say Picture Cover Eye Check is built into the workbook. So as you can see here, it's highlighted in the bottom left-hand corner there. So they just write in the word, Look Say Picture Cover Eye Check. A lot of teachers will get them to write in the word 3 times into this box, and that's fine. Silly sentences is just when they put the mini word in a sentence with the actual word that they're studying. And it's placed typically into that middle section of your workbook. Okay, so a normal sentence is just putting the word that they're learning into a sentence. A silly sentence is when they put the mini word or different words in association with that sentence. So the likes of addition, a mini word inside the word addition is it. They might put it and addition in the same sentence, or add an addition in the same sentence. Okay, and multisensory. We have a range of listed ideas here for multisensory approaches. I will highlight that we have another video, Spellings for Me, in the support setting or send setting, that I would go into this in more detail. Okay, there is a page on in every student's workbook that has top tips for smaller words, and multisensory activities is included in that. So typically used in the support setting, but can be used at home as well if it's something that you might have an interest in helping a student at home. Multisensory activities can be a great call if possible. Okay, it's important to note spellings is a visual motor skill. You do not purchase Spellings for Me and say, oh lovely, we're going to put them online and they're going to learn their spellings. They need to be put in pen to paper, crayons to paper, colouring pencils to paper, or possibly they might need to put their finger in shaving foam or stand, as you can see in front of you, or use smelly spices to draw out their words. So it has to be a visual, it's a visual motor skill, as I said. So our strategies. The top 4 that you see in front of you have video lessons associated with them. Okay, so video lessons associated with them, they're taught explicitly using those video lessons, and children use these strategies with their own learning words every single week. Okay, the bottom 3 that you see there, etymology, morphology, Look Say Picture Cover Eye Check, and the silly sentence, they would be included in the workbook, but there aren't video lessons accompanying them. Okay. This page is in the page you see on the right hand side is in every Spellings for Me workbook, and it's important to go through it with the students in your class to explain to them what strategy they can use and which one is an option for them. With that, we also have classroom displays. Okay, so you can display this word in the word, and you can start explaining to students what a word in the word is and how they can refer to that display when they're looking to use that strategy. Similarly for the letter drawings one, similarly there's classroom displays there for letter strings and mnemonics. Okay, so as I said, the top 4 are taught explicitly. The bottom 3 strategies there are included in the workbook exercises: etymology, morphology, Look Say Picture Cover Eye Check, and silly sentences. It's important to note that there is a checklist associated to every workbook. Okay, so all we can do is urge you to print the checklist. It's only 4 pages back to back. There is no need to print your teacher manual. You'll rarely refer to it. There's only a few pages that you may refer to. They would actually be listed in the checklist as well if you need to click into it. But your checklist is there. It's 4 pages back to back, or 8 pages if you print it solid. And it'll guide you every step of the way. If you look at this checklist here for workbook A, and I want you to look at the bottom part of it here, unit 1, just to guide you how it goes through week by week. So on Monday, what are you going to do? The strategy you're going to learn today is find a word in the word as a class, go to your dashboard as a teacher, find a video lesson, words within words video lesson, play this for the students, do unit 1, activity 1 together in school. Tuesday, unit 1, activity 2. Wednesday, what to do. Thursday, what to do. It goes into week 2, week 3, week 4, and so on. Okay, for those of you who are happy enough with the spelling strategies and the fact that there's video lessons, you can tune out now. For those of you not, I want to explain the letter string strategy a little bit further. How this is inspired by you as a teacher. We would urge you to pick one student's word every week or two, every couple of weeks. So for example, Sarah is in the bottom left-hand corner. Ask her to call out her 3 words for tonight. Okay, and let's say one of her words is addition. Put the word addition up on the board, okay, and let it out to the class that you want everybody in the class to come up with all 4 strategies for the word addition. They'll find many words in the word addition quite easily, like add, it, and on. That's fine. It's an easy strategy for them to use. They'll be able to probably draw a plus and design the word addition around that plus, no problem at all. Okay. Similarly, they'll come up with a mnemonic for the word addition if you put them into 2s and 3s, but they won't use the letter string approach unless you inspire them. So I would urge you with the word addition, to put ION up on the board, okay? Put a circle around it and ask the students to call out words that they know that there's ION in. And I can promise you, if you start getting the students in your class used to this, they will come up with ION words really quickly, or any strategy, any letter string words really quickly. So I'm asking you as a group to think, as you listen to this, ION words, you have a 3-letter word, it's an ion battery, you have a 4-letter word, it's a line. Think about bigger words. You have description, you have production, you have subtraction, submission, multiplication, addition. The list goes on, and your students will call out these words, and you have now inspired them to use that strategy. Okay, it can be any word. The following week, you pick Paul on the right hand side, and he's a word like wall, WALL. Circle the ALL part. Ask the students in your class once again to call out ALL words: small, tall, fall, call. They'll shout them out, loads of them. Another week, it might be ACK words: back, sack, quack, snack. If they're really good, they might have ACK in the middle of the word at the start of the word, like acknowledge, ACK, acknowledge, like blackberry, okay, when it's in the middle of the word, okay? So it's up to you to inspire it, but how you do that is every week or two, you pick one student's word. They might ask you for help on their strategies as well, but you pick one student's word and you use that word for all 4 strategies. I go into this in a lot more detail in the video JAS, Drop Everything and Spell, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this. But that is all for me on the spelling strategies video. Thank you.